Hey, welcome to episode 11 of the Mile 62 podcast. I'm your host, Richard Elkins, coming to you from Austin, Texas. Got a little bit different podcast for you today. We're right on the eve of starting December. Today's podcast is applicable for road runners and ultra runners. Actually, all kinds of runners, even triathletes. What we're going to talk about today is the Squadeasy app on iPhone and Google. Also goes by Squad Runner, which was the former name. This is an online running team. What does that mean? Basically, it consists of hundreds of teams of up to 20 persons, and those 20 people form a team that competes against other teams in the league. And each season is 1 month. Well, the app has evolved over the last year or two. I've been involved with the app for about 1 year. When I started, the app only had Squad Runner, and what that meant was it's only running. And about 4 or 5 months ago, they started the Squadeasy part of the app and changed the whole name of the app to Squadeasy. So they have what they call the running universe and the multi-sport universe. So in the running universe is as it says, it's only running, and the Squadeasy multi-sport universe is running, cycling, and also count steps. And like I said, each team consists of up to 20 people, and you can add the app and search around looking for a team to join. There are open teams and there are closed teams. What that means is if it's an open team, you're welcome to join. If it's closed team, you need to ask permission or get a referral to join that team. Or you could start your own team. I've done that on the multi-sport universe. I have my own team. It's also called Mile 62. We have about 6 people right now, and a lot of cyclists, some people just like to run, and then some people just like to count steps. Or you can do all of the above. I cross-train with the bike, so I like that part of the app too. But I spend most of my time on the Squad Runner side of the app. This is the running universe. It's a very serious league. I'm a member of NA Flag Visor 3. NA Flag Visor is one of the big conglomerate teams on the app. They have over 20 teams. There's some other big teams like UA Runners, Barry's K2. You can scroll through and see a lot of them. So they're teams built up of just one gym or one running group. And then you got these big league teams. The league teams are very competitive and typically are the ones that are placing in the, say the top 10. The reason they do so well is they typically use the group of the teams to pull the best players to form their top 1 or 2 teams, so they can compete for the trophy. And that works real well. It's kind of like having 3 middle schools, supporting by putting players into one high school. Same kind of concept. But there are a lot of teams out there that are family teams. That's how my multi-sport team started. It was almost 90% family members, and it's evolved some. And then you have the league teams, you have gym teams, you have work teams. They have a lot of work teams. You'll see the names and recognize that they're company teams. So there's something out there for everyone. I really like the app because it provides some accountability to working out. You get a new mission every day, or for either running or cycling or steps, and then on the weekends you might get a team mission. But it kind of pushes you to log in, check what the mission is, see how you're doing with your teammates, because you're not only competing against other teams, but you're on a team. And yes, it is a team, but you kind of push each other and you try to outscore each other during the month. Like I said, the season is 1 month. So you see how within the 20 people on your team, you see how you're ranked. And if you're on the bottom of the list, you're either been injured, not working out very much, or you just haven't been putting in much effort. So it gives you that added push. You may motivate yourself to get out and run every day. I inspire myself, but sometimes I need an extra push, and this app does provide some accountability for that. And you can also see how how you've done against previous months on your point total. So if you've had a strong month, and it usually jives with your Strava. If you've had a really good month on Strava, or another app that competes with Strava, this Squadeasy supports several different apps, which I'll talk about later. You'll see that it works hand in hand. So, like I said, I'm on one of the big teams. I'm on NA Flagvisor team. They're team number 3, which is competitive. It's not one of their best top teams at all, but we have some really good runners on there. There are several ultra runners on there, like myself. There are just some fun runners on there, which also score very high, sometimes beat me. And then there are some half marathoners and marathoners on there, which also rack up a lot of points. But what you'll find out in this app is the people that get out there every day and grind it out and stick to their running plan, and also try to go after the mission every day, are the ones that score well. It's not necessarily the best runner. I've seen several pro runners on some of the top teams be on the bottom of the list because they're just not running very much. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. Squad runner, every day it's coming out with a new mission. The mission may, for example, be, I'll talk in kilometers because that's what I use. It may be run 10K for the day. You have 24 hours to do that. So 10K, 6 miles, 6.2 miles. And the points for that mission may be 150 points. So if you accomplish that mission, and you'll get the 150 points, plus there's a calculation for points that you will get per kilometer. It's an algorithm that works on speed, gain and loss, elevation gain and loss, and distance. So typically 10K, it's usually about 10 points a kilometer. So if you got 150 points for the mission and you got 100 points for the 10 kilometers, you got 250 points that day. And these keep totaling up during the month. So every week, at the end of the month, you may have 10,000 points, depending on how much you run. So every day you're logging in. How much time does it really take? 10, 15 minutes a day. You log in, and you see what the mission is, and you accept the mission. Because if you don't accept the mission and you go out and run, you're not going to get any points. So you accept the mission, and then you complete the mission, then you get the points. And also every day there's usually a quiz, kind of a sports quiz. They'll put out something like, what does vitamin D benefit you the most? And they'll give you like ABCD choice answer. And if you get it right, you can get anywhere from 20 to 40 points. So those add up. So it pays to log in every day. And usually the teams are trying to help each other. If somebody doesn't know the answer to the quiz, it's usually help each other. And so how is the app learning what you're doing? Well, they the app that most people are using is Strava. I myself use Garmin because I use a Garmin watch. It shoots my data after my run to my Strava, and then Strava uploads by link to the Squadeasy app. And so that's how I'm getting it. But they also support Endinamo and a couple other ones. Most people are using Strava. Some people are using Google to link as well. So another thing I'd like to add is that you have 20 teammates. You can boost a teammate. What does that mean? That means that every day you can boost someone up to 10%, and you have 20 people on the team. So it's important for everyone to get in there and try to give someone a boost. So that means if you ran and you earned 100 points, if you had one boost, 10%, you would get 110 points. And one person can be boosted up to three times, so 30%. You could get up to 130 points. Why is that important? Let's say you on the weekend are running a marathon, and there are only 3 or 4 people racing that weekend. You want to boost the people that are going to be putting out the maximum amount of points. So it's just a percentage game. So the teams that really work together can get the extra points. In Squad Runner, I think there's about 200 teams, and every day you can look in there and see how your team ranks against others. So it's good fun. And then you're also competing against members of your team. I mean, that's not why the app was designed, but in reality, that's what's happening. Each one's motivating each other and trying to get more points than each other. So it pushes you along. So how to get started? The first thing you want to do is whether you have an Android phone or an iOS phone, Apple phone. I have an iPhone, and they work similar on downloading them. So you just select whatever phone you want to use it on. You want to use it on a phone that you're using most of the time, because if you're in the multi-sport universe, you want to carry your phone, and the reason you want to do that is so you can accumulate the steps. But if you're just using the app for running and you're on the Squad Runner side of the app, they call it the Squad Runner universe. That doesn't matter. It can be on any phone. One that you can leave at home. So what you want to do is you want to download the app. You can download that from the iTunes Store or Google Apps, and then once you've downloaded the app and you've created a password and you're in the app, then you want to decide which universe you want to go into. And this is an important step. If you select the wrong one, sometimes it can be tricky trying to get back out of it, and sometimes it's easier to delete the app and start over. But you either want to select the Squad Runner, the running side universe, or the multi-sport Squadeasy. They call it multi-sport universe. It is possible to be on a team on both sides. I do that, but I suggest when you're starting out, just do one or the other, because it'll take a lot more of your time. So if you only run, I definitely would select the Squad Runner side of it. So you join that universe, and then you select an open team. So you can scroll through the teams and select a team that you want to be on, or if somebody invited you to use the app, they will send you a message in the app, kind of a referral, so it's an easy link to the team, and you can get into the team. So, and if you see a team that you want to join but it's closed, just search for that person on Twitter. Most people using Squad Runner or Squadeasy, they use Twitter for communication between the teams. So typically you can find that person on Twitter, send them a message and tell them, hey, I want to join your team, because they're typically the captain of the team. You'll know the captain of the team because it has, when you look at the picture profile, there'll be kind of a crown on top. So you got 20 people on the team, you'll see 20 pictures, and one of them will have a crown. That's the captain. They're the ones that are organizing the team, trying to keep it organized, bringing in new members, people that, maybe it's not for them anymore, they'll remove them from the team, that sort of thing. And also when you have problems syncing with your data, or if you have questions on how to use the app, the captain is the best person to go to. So once you've selected a universe and you joined a team, then you want to go into your profile. You want to add a picture and some brief profile information. And how do you do that? You select edit profile next to your picture, and then you can add a picture. And then another very important thing you need to do, you need to add a tracker. So tracker is an app such as Strava, Runkeeper, Runtastic, and Endomondo, and Apple Health. I strongly suggest use Strava. Now, on Squadeasy, they have their own running program that you can do within the app. I've had some friends that used that with some success, and I've had some that had problems. I strongly suggest use Strava. I think it works the best with the app, the Squadeasy app, and that's how I've brought in many people, probably over 10 people, helping them get started with the app, and all the ones that have used Strava have done well. The ones that have tried to do it other ways always tend to have problems, and they are usually the ones that typically, get tired of the app. But I think using Strava is very strong with Squadeasy, and it works well. So what you're going to do is you're going to select edit profile next to your picture, and then there's called trackers, and then link GPS app such as Strava. And once you link it and you click on that Strava link, it's gonna bring up Strava and ask you to put in your password, so you'll be able to finalize that link with the app. Then what you want to do is you want to go into preferences in your profile, and then select if you want to go by miles or kilometers. You need to select. I suggest select the one that you're using in Strava and Garmin. So if you're using miles in Strava, use miles in the Squadeasy app. And then, do you want to score your runs based on mainly on pace or speed? I use pace. And then you have audio, yes or no. I've never used that, but you can use that. It just means the phone's going to be talking to you. I don't like that. And so that's how you get set up. So, okay, now you're ready to participate. What are you going to do? Okay, well, right now we're at the end of the month. Like I said, all the seasons, one season is 1 month, 30 days, 31 days, however many days are in that month. So like we're starting December, so that's a new season. So it doesn't matter if you got 6,000 points and another team member has 500 points. At the end of the month, everyone goes back to zero. So beginning of the month, everybody goes back to zero. Everyone starts with a fresh slate to start off the season. So first thing you want to do is you want to go to the home page and accept all missions. So if you're doing the Squad Runner app, there'll be one mission. There'll be a running mission. And you click on that, accept it. One thing I want to know is you always want to accept all missions. If you accept a mission and don't run it, it can't hurt you. They won't take any points away from you. But if you don't accept the mission and you run something, you won't get any credit. I've forgotten to accept a mission before, and that's happened to me. So that's one of the big pieces of advice. Always accept all missions. Now, if you're using the multi-sport app, you've got bike, run, and step. So you can have up to 3 missions you need to accept. And the step mission usually goes on for a couple days. Same thing with the bike, but not always. But some bike missions are 1 day, and the run missions are very similar to the Squad Runner side of the universe. They're 1 day missions, sometimes 2 days, and then on the weekend, sometimes they have a weekend mission for the whole team. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So after you go out and run, one thing I always do is once my Garmin, my watch uploads to my Garmin and I see the Strava got updated. If I don't, I always go into Strava first and pull up my page and make sure that my run got to Strava. And then I'll open the Squadeasy app and edit profile, sync, and then sync my run. I do it in that order. I found that it works pretty well that way. Because if for some reason Strava did not have it in the Squadeasy app synced for that day, there is a chance you could lose it. It's not supposed to work that way, but I just found that if I follow that process that I've developed myself, it works really well. So update Strava, check, make sure you got your run on Strava, and then go to Squadeasy, edit profile, which is by your picture, sync, and then you should see your points show up. So you should be getting points for the run, points for the mission. So that's why it's important to do the mission. Some people just go out and run, don't really follow the missions, and you lose a lot of points that way. And that's even more so on the multi-sport side. If you're just chasing steps and you don't accept the missions and don't follow the missions, you will lose a lot of points, because when you run, you also get steps for the step mission, so you can get a lot more points that way on the multi-sport side. So I think the mission's pretty self-explanatory. If you ever have any problems with getting credit for a mission, first thing you want to do is contact the captain of your team. You can also send an email to Boogie, that's BOOGIE, at squadeasy.com. Send a picture of your run from Strava, and then details about who you are, your name as it is on the team, which team you're on, and usually within 2 or 3 days they will give you credit for the mission. One warning is, it is a running app. If you're walking, say 10 miles, it's not going to give you any points unless you're a really fast walker. So everything's being followed up by GPS. So you want to put in a good effort. You can walk some, jog some, but the average time needs to be better than a walker. Otherwise, it won't give you any credit. And you only get credit for runs which are done by GPS. So if you're running on a treadmill, you won't get any credit for that. It's just to prevent cheating. So the teams are very competitive. So if the run is not measured by GPS, you won't get any credit. And I'm trying to think if I have forgot anything else. Some strategy and important notes. This application was developed in France, and it goes by the French time zone. Well, the server updates every day at midnight in France. So Texas Central Time, that's 5 p.m. So you don't want to sync your data between 5 and 6 p.m. The day 5 to 6 p.m. Central, adjusting for Eastern Standard Time, wherever. But basically midnight in France, the server for 1 hour is updating all the data. And sometimes you'll have syncing problems if you try to do it during that hour. So I suggest do not sync your data that 1 hour, midnight in France. And what else? Also, some teams will boost the top persons of the team for maximum points. That's up to the team. Most teams don't do that, but the culture of each team is different, and you got to find the team that's right for you. Some teams are very I guess what I'm trying to say is some teams are very serious runners, and some are just taking it easy. If somebody wants to taper for 1 week, then race, and then taper after the week, a lot of teams allow that, and some teams don't. You might get bumped down to a different team unless you're on a club team. So you got to keep that in mind. So when you join a team, you need to know a little bit about the culture of the team. So talk to the captain before you join, so you don't join and then feel out of place. It's nothing worse than joining a team that, the guys and girls are running, 20 kilometers every day. You don't want to be on a team unless you're actually doing that. So there's some that are more serious than others. So you need to find out which team is best for you. And Squadeasy posts the mission schedules on Twitter on Sundays, so you can actually plan your week. You can see what missions are coming up during the week if you follow them on Twitter. Or sometimes your captain will let everyone know what's coming up. They check it out on Twitter and tells everyone. And you want to communicate often. If you're not going to run for a day or two, tell your teammates so they don't boost you. People boost each other as friends, kind of try to help everyone on the team. But if you're injured or don't plan to run, let everyone else on the team know. And if you're racing on that weekend, let them know so they can boost you. Otherwise, they won't know. That's real important. Communication is real important. There is a chat program in the app, and then also people typically communicate with a team on Twitter. That's important because you're 20 people on a team. There might not be, unless you're part of a club team, everyone else on the team might be in a different state or, different part of the U.S. or even I've had team members in Europe as well, so way different time zones. So you need to communicate with them because often you won't see them very often. And but one thing it's neat is some of the big teams have been joining, having meetups at big marathons and stuff, and so there is a chance to meet some of your team members. I'm seeing more of that in the last few months, so that's pretty neat. But like I said, in conclusion, the app is great for accountability. If you want to be part of a team, a running team, and you don't know how to do it, online team, I highly suggest it. I've been doing it for about a year, and it's helped me improve my fitness and given me more accountability. I have my own running schedule and plan, but this also gives me an extra push to get out there and get running. But if you have any questions, I would be happy to help you. You can send an email to me at runner@gmail.com. You can also follow me on social media. That's runnerrwe on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm at runnerrwe. And on Strava, I have the Mile 62 running group. And it's just Richard, Mile 62 running group. Or you can look for me under Richard Elkins. You'll find me. And I'm also now on Facebook under runnerrwe. And like I said, if you want to send me a question, I'll try to help you. It's runnerrwe@gmail.com. I'm not part of the company, Squadeasy company, or I'm not sponsored by the company. I'm just a big fan of the app, and I just wanted to do a podcast explaining it because it is a little bit confusing when you first get started because the website is, a lot of it's in French, and there are a lot of people in the U.S. using it, but there really is not any real good manual out there on how to get started. It's kind of word of mouth. So hopefully this podcast helps you out. And like I said, if you have any questions, drop me an email. I hope you have a great weekend running. Take care.